Hello, you wonderful people. In this episode of the English Right Now podcast, we're going to talk about real British phrases that you'll hear in shops every single day. And we're going to explain what they actually mean. This is natural British English, the kind you hear when shopping in the UK. And it's perfect for improving your listening, vocabulary, and confidence. And we're going to teach you at least 10 related words and expressions related to shopping in this real English conversation. I'm British English teacher Roy, and joining me is my dear friend Rob. Hello.
Hello. Howdy doody. How are we, Roy?
Every time you come out with a creative hello, don't you? I'm rather well. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. It's a gloomy, cold day here in Kent, but warm inside, I'm glad to say.
That's it. Perfect for looking out the window. Actually, maybe not perfect for looking out the window because it sounds horrible. Grey.
Yeah. Typical English winter's day it is really.
I think we've caught the same weather down here as well. Down on the Isle of Wight. But we're going to talk about shopping. Let's go to the most important question first. Do you like shopping?
I do not particularly like shopping. Well, what I don't like is I don't like browsing, just kind of casually wandering around shops looking for things. Yeah. I don't mind if I have a mission. I need to buy something. I'll go to the shop and get it. And if it's in stock and I get it and I take it home, job done, I'm happy. But I don't want to spend all day just drifting around shops, just looking,
Oh, no, I totally agree. And that you use one of our key pieces of straight off the bat, you use one of our key pieces of vocabulary to have a browse or to browse. So it can be a noun or a verb. And it means, as you say, to look around casually without any intention to buy. And sometimes if somebody approaches us in a shop, we can just say, I'm just browsing.
Yeah.
As a kind of way to get rid of the sales assistant.
Exactly. That can be really annoying, can't it? You're in a shop and you are just looking for the right thing. And somebody comes on, can I help you? Can I help you? Have you seen this one? Would you like to try this on? No, leave me alone. I'm just browsing is my excuse.
Yeah, just browsing, just having a browse. You could use a verb or a noun there. And also you could just say, I'm just looking. I'm just looking, thanks. And it's a polite way to say, I don't want any help right now. I'm just looking, thanks. I'm just looking. That's probably my go-to expression to be left alone. But yeah, it can be. I think sometimes they feel a bit awkward coming up to you. They don't, I think in the past it was this idea of commission where they would earn money from sales, but a lot of places don't do that. So I think even the sales assistants, sometimes they're a bit, oh, you okay? Everything all right? Just looking. Good. And they want to go away as well.
Yeah.
But when we talk about you went straight for the shops. What is the worst shopping experience? Is it buying shoes? Is it buying clothes? Is it buying electronics? What do you particularly hate?
Yeah, clothes I hate buying because actually sometimes there's too much choice. So it's deciding, do I want this style of jean or this style of jean or this color or this color? There's that. Then, of course, there's getting the right size. So you usually have to go and try it on in the changing rooms or where you try on the clothes. Oh, that's such an effort, isn't it? And takes time. And then, of course, then you queue up to buy it and then you take it home and then you think, actually, do I actually like this? I don't know if I chose the right thing,
So I agree. I think for me, clothes shopping, any form of item of clothing, shoes are second on the list, and then I think third, the worst experience is supermarkets. I hate them. You just kind of drift around. If you don't go in with a specific idea of what you want, I find myself 30 minutes later just looking in an aisle. Candles, and I'm like, I don't even want to buy a candle. Why am I looking at candles? I get lost. So yeah, clothes shopping, I think it's a very labored experience. You used a couple of good pieces of vocabulary as well. Look at you. So when we test clothes before buying them, we say to try something on, to try it on. And we often say, oh, can I try this on? And then if there is a place, they'll say, yeah, the changing rooms are just over there. And then, eventually, as you say, you get to that point where you decide to buy it and then you queue up. And you can say to queue up, which are both to stand in a line, both verbs there, or you could get in the queue, which is the line. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nothing from start to finish do I enjoy about clothes shopping in general.
No. And the other problem I have, we have a big shopping center or shopping mall near
Yeah.
us. It's packed full of shops. The good thing is, it's undercover, so you're not going to get wet if it's raining. But you go in there just to buy one thing. And of course, you have a long walk around the shopping mall. And then you might buy a coffee. And then you might go into another shop. And then, of course, if you're shopping with somebody else, like your partner, your wife, they want to look somewhere else. And then they have a look somewhere else. And by the time you finish, the whole day has gone. It's like it's stepping into like a TARDIS or something in a shopping mall. And of course, because you don't. I'm really moaning here, aren't I? If you,
we are sounding like grumpy old men, Rob. I'm not going to lie.
But there are, no windows either, so you can't see outside to see the sort of changing light, to see if it's late or nighttime or anything. So you're in this kind
it's
of
like Las Vegas, but
you're in this bright building all day, and the time is just going. But anyway, let's be honest. Shopping sometimes is a necessity. We have to do it.
Yes, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the vocabulary you need. And for us, it sounds like it's survival expressions. But for many of the English learners out there, they're going to want to learn these expressions so they sound more natural. First thing I was going to say is one thing as well, because commonly we use the word shopping center in the UK, and the American version is the shopping mall. But that word is becoming, it's getting more used. I think some places do call themselves the shopping mall. But these centers, they're designed to keep you in. They have food, they have shops, they have cinemas, they have everything you could get distracted by and spend the whole day there. Coffee shops, everything. Sometimes have the bowling alleys.
Yeah.
And they're just designed kids areas. Yeah. So let's go back to shopping. General shopping could be clothes, could be electronics. I prefer electronics if I'm going to buy something. But an interesting way of saying I'm looking for or I want, we often say I'm after. So, for example, I'm after a new jumper. And it's this expression is rarely taught, but it's really natural. They don't tend to ask the question, what are you after? That maybe. But we commonly say, I'm after, a new video game. I'm after, have you, it's like a way of saying, I want this, have you got it?
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I'm after. It's funny, isn't it? It's almost like you're chasing after something. I want to catch this thing,
Yeah, it is. It is true. But when was the last time you went shopping?
For clothes, I suppose I went at Christmas time. I went to choose some clothes. Actually, my wife was going to buy for me for Christmas, so I didn't have to pay for it. I chose the clothes, and she bought them as a Christmas present. So that was quite nice. I didn't have to spend any money, which is always a downside of shopping, isn't it?
It's downside for the business, upside for me, I think.
That was the last time. I haven't bought any electronic goods recently. I've been to boring places like a car shop where I had to buy some spare parts of the car. Very, very exciting.
Goodness me.
Yeah. And then, of course,
my heart was racing.
And then, of course, there's food shopping, as you mentioned. Yes, always food shopping.
Yeah, I always have this idea of popping in to a supermarket. I'm just going to pop to the shops. Pop is a word we use to mean go somewhere for a short amount of time.
Yes.
So you could pop in the shop, or you could pop to the shop. And an alternative to this is nip. Just going to nip to the supermarket. Do you want anything? Yes. And my intention is always to nip, but I always end up being there for about an hour and a half, and then I have to request that the parking is extended because you only get an hour and a half in my local supermarket. And for some reason, we just
Well, the supermarket, you pop in maybe to buy some milk, and then you start thinking, I need some bread. I ought to get some. I ought to get some more pasta in or something, and you end up
drifting around.
Yes, and the other thing, my dad says this. I'm popping to the shop to get some bits.
Yeah,
as in
bits and bobs or bits. Yeah,
bits. Some essential items, basically.
Yeah. It's a weird one. I always end up on these really weird aisles, the clearance aisles, where they're selling off. Quite often, it's tat, which is tat is a tat is like a word for rubbish, like not rubbish, but like non-essential, poorly made, or just a little bit. non-essential items that just end up on clearance aisles. And I said, after Christmas, I often pick up Christmas crackers and baubles that are on sale because nobody's bought them. And I end up with this huge collection of baubles that then I lose over the course of a year, and I end up buying new ones anyway. But I went in the supermarket and I said to my son, "Oh, let's go and have a look at the clearance aisle. Let's go and get some tat." And now my son says, "Dad, are we going to buy tat? Going to buy rubbish, junk."
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But Roy, what do you do if you can't find anything in the shops? Who do you ask?
Cry.
What do you say?
Cry. So commonly we'd go up to somebody and say, "Do you have any, or do you have X, Y, and Z?" You could say, "Oh, excuse me, I'm after a jumper. Do you have any in stock?" You could say, "Do you have any in stock?" Which means, "Do you have any in the back?" Maybe that's something we say, don't we? If we can't see it on the shelf, you could ask, "Excuse me, do you have any in the back?" It's like away from the public eye, and quite common. I think some people now in supermarkets avoid me because they know I'm useless. Where sorry, which aisle? Where can I find the milk?
Yes, that's right. Or I might say, where do you keep your bread, or where do you keep your trainers, or where do you keep like a zoo? They're in a cage.
like they've contained them away. Where do you keep your trainers? And then they're like, it makes it sound mysterious, doesn't it? Like they've like it's some lost civilization. But yeah,
it's more. I guess it's more informal way of saying, where are they? Where are they located? Where do you locate? How can I locate your trainers? That's very formal.
Yeah, if you're buying trainers, you can ask, do you have these in this size? If we, because there's lots of different. I mean, we probably should, in terms of this podcast. And if you're listening, by the way, please do give this lesson a like. It really helps other learners to watch it. But in terms of learners, we should probably do individual types of shops, like shoe shopping. And there's another 50 podcast ideas right there. Shopping for your fruit and your veg and your stuff like this, and what to say in certain shopping environments. But yeah, shoe shopping. Oh, I hate it. I actually hate it. I've got some kind of I don't know. When I was a kid, I remember my father, I think he gets quite overwhelmed sometimes when shopping. And I remember I needed to buy some school shoes. And I went with my godmother and my father down to Derby, I think it was. It's either Derby or Nottingham. And we spent all day looking for shoes. All day. And we eventually bought the first pair of shoes that we saw. So we saw some shoes. They were the ones, but no. We went to every shop to try different shoes to see if they were cheaper, better. And eventually we went back to the first place we went to, seems to be a habit, and bought those same shoes. And I still remember that that awful day.
Traumatized by shoes.
I think I was. I just want to shop for Lego, and nothing has changed. I'll do that now. Interestingly enough, if we're going to a Lego shop, I'm not going to complain at all. The only time I could be a bit sad is if they tell me something is out of stock, which means it's unavailable, or we're sold out. That's the only time.
Yes, that can be annoying, can't it? I mean, even going back to shoes, for example, you see a pair of shoes you love, but they don't have it in your size, so it's out of stock.
You say love. I mean, I just eventually settle.
You settle.
Settle is when we just accept it. I settle and begrudgingly accept these are the shoes I'm going to buy. And then when I find out they're out of stock, I'm like, oh my God, it took me hours to choose those. But yeah.
So I mean, when they're out of stock, they often say we can order them in for you, don't they? You can order some in, so you can come back later and we'll have some. Or that line has been discontinued, which means they don't make it anymore. That's the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, different places have different words for that, because Lego say that set is retired. Like it's no longer working. But it basically means the same thing. It's no longer being produced, no longer being made. Obviously, you don't really get that with food shopping. But in terms of food shopping, they could say there is a shortage. So they don't have the supply at the moment of fruit or veg or whatever.
Yeah, supply
Yeah,
issues. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. What are your favorite bits of shopping? We've moaned enough, I think. What are the best bits of shopping
Well, I
apart
like
from leaving?
I like gadgets, you say electronics, that sort of stuff. So
Yeah,
if, it doesn't happen very often. If you buy a new TV or a new phone, for example, it's quite exciting, isn't it? This new gadget
yeah,
you've got to set up and to play with, and it all looks shiny and new. I prefer that to buying clothes, which is why I still wear the same old clothes, but I have a
yeah.
nice shiny phone.
I noticed we pretty much. I mean, you're the most colourful one with your dark green top, but we both basically got black tops. I've got black and grey as my colour scheme
Yeah.
of my wardrobe. Occasionally, my wife buys me something colourful, and I'm like, oh, didn't know that
Yeah,
colour existed.
I feel a bit awkward then. I can't really wear red. It's not me. It's got to be a dark color or not.
That's
It's
something we say, isn't it? It's not me. It's not really me.
not really
In other
me.
words,
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't really
right.
suit me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
So,
shopping. I mean, I guess like you, I do a lot of my shopping online now
yep.
to avoid that waste of time, that journey going to the shop. And of course, you can compare things easily online, can't you?
Yeah.
Um, and shop
I mean,
around.
there's a Lego set that I'm really after at the moment. And I was umming and ahhing. This is something we say, umming and ahhing, which is basically like we're a bit indecisive, not
Mm,
sure. And it was available online, and I thought, oh, should I buy it? Not sure. Should I buy it? And now it's only available in the shop,
mhm.
in store, as they say, in store, in the shop. So now I'm going to have to go if I really want this, and I kind of now have convinced myself I really do, because it's no longer available. Now I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to go across to Southampton in the vague hope that they have it in stock.
Mm.
And I just thought so much. It's so really prefer to just shop online, but I can't now. But that's that's the trouble of my life now.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I don't mind if it's Lego or if it's gadgets or it's electronics. I think it is a complete double standard, isn't it? Because
Mm.
I'll moan about some types of shopping, but not about all types of shopping. I suppose it's what you're interested in.
Yes.
Um, but the other thing I do like is sometimes striking up a conversation
Hmm.
in a supermarket with a random person, as particularly like there's a lot of kind of moaning, isn't it? Like, oh, prices have gone up. Have you seen the price of bread? These kind of things.
Uh,
Bit of banter as well. I like that.
Yeah, yes, I do. Although you're the kind of weirdo I try and avoid at the supermarket. I go, oh no, here comes that guy who's going to talk to me again. Quick, off I go.
Thanks
But
for
yeah,
that.
you can have. It's sometimes nice to be, obviously be friendly and chatty to the sales people. The
Yeah,
people at the checkout or the shop assistants who help you on the shop floor. It's nice to be pleasant with them and have a chat to them about things. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I strike up conversations. I can strike up a conversation in an empty room, I think, but
Mm.
that's a skill set. But
The other
eventually,
funny thing
so
is, Roy, I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, but the other thing is obviously when you come to pay, it's quite weird that when we pay for things, we say thank you, even though we're giving them money, don't we? Thank you very much.
yeah,
Here's
we do.
£100. Thank you.
Thank you for taking my money. Thank you for taking it. Oh, you're welcome. Come
Yeah.
back again. Not if I can help it, but
Yeah.
of course we
Not they
just go.
often have cash, of course. I don't tend to take cash
No.
to the shops now. You get the option, don't you? They'll say to you, card or cash, meaning a
Yes.
credit card or a bank card of some kind, as opposed to
So yeah.
cash.
So you eventually choose your items, and then you go to the till. The till is the area that you pay, or you can sometimes call it the checkout if it's kind of we commonly use the word till, don't we? Because that's the machine that they use to
Yeah.
that'll be. And then when they finally worked out the amount, they say that'll be X amount of money. That'll be
Mm.
£88. That'll be £47, or in the case of my Lego collection, that'll be £258, no doubt. But
Right.
it's a typical, phrasing, and then you kind of have to deal with that. And sometimes they'll ask you if you've got a loyalty card,
Yeah.
like the loyalty card. Do you have a loyalty card? But they
Mhm.
won't say that. They'll use the specific name of that company's loyalty card, like Club Card in Tesco, Nectar in Sainsbury's, Insider's account for Lego, so on. And sometimes you get bonuses and
Mm.
points, and then they ask you, as you say, card or cash. And sometimes they do it the other way around, cash or card.
Mm.
I feel more comfortable, but it's cash or card, and it's asking, do you want to pay with money or do you want to pay with a card?
Mm.
I don't carry cash, like you say, not
Mm.
really.
It's quite
Can't
unusual
remember.
these days, isn't it, for people to carry cash? I mean, particularly since COVID times, I think we've become more of a cashless society.
Yeah,
Everything's
cashless
on card.
society. It's
Yeah, everything's on card,
yeah.
and of course, cards these days can also be contactless, can't they?
Yes, another key piece of vocabulary. So I've got
Mhm.
cash or card, and then you can ask, "Can I pay contactless?" or "Do you have contactless?" But it's more and
Mm.
more common, isn't it? You can just tap your card, which is perfect for someone like me who can't remember their PIN number half of the time.
Yes.
Or you can even tap your phone, which is, I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a Luddite in the sense of like, technology in that way. I didn't use contactless on my phone until probably about 6 months ago when my card broke and it was
Okay.
the only way I could pay. So it was a
Mm.
choice of it was the choice of not being able to go to lunch with my friends or facing this new thing. Do you use your phone to pay?
I do, yes. No, I've adapted very well to that, Roy. I've got everything on my phone now. So I pay on my phone. So I've got an iPhone, so it's Apple Pay, and
Oh,
I also have my loyalty cards on my phone. So everything is on my phone. It does get a bit awkward because you open your loyalty card app first, you scan that, and then you've got to find your bank card, then you scan that. But anyway, it's all in one
yeah.
place, which makes it quite convenient. And as you say, it saves having to slot your card into the card machine and then remember your PIN number. You don't have to
But
do
you are
that.
meant to carry your card still. You're meant to carry your card because sometimes your phone refuses to pay and you have to kind of use your card to
Yes, I understand that. Yeah.
reactivate it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it is now I use my phone like beep, 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 tip 'em out. I also have an iPhone.
Hmm.
Oh, look at us. Look at us with our brand loyalty. But yeah, now I've just paid with my card. Phone, I don't even think about it. But at the time,
Yeah.
it was just a bit, yeah.
But with cash, of course, you have to remember to collect your change. They give you
Oh,
change,
yes.
don't they?
Yeah.
So if something's £9.99, you give them £10. They have to work it out on their till, and they give you a penny back. So don't forget to take your change if you're paying in
Yeah.
cash. And what about the other thing they offer when you buy stuff?
What do they offer?
The receipt. Would you like a
Oh,
receipt?
okay.
with
I thought you
that?
were going to say, like, I don't know if you had some hidden service, but I was going to say, interestingly, you talked about the cash
Hmm.
thing. When I do pay with cash, on the rare occasion I pay with cash, I've got a little patter, got a little
Hmm.
thing because I go, I've only got, and then I say the value of the note. And
Mhm.
that is because in the past, if I've given them a 20 and I get change for a tenner, I don't, short
Yeah.
change. You don't want to have that argument. So I like them to be
Absolutely.
aware of the exact amount I'm giving them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do it in a way that I'm not saying don't shortchange me, but I say
Mm.
I've only got a 20. Is that all right? Yeah, yeah, 20 is fine. Um, but yeah, and at the end, when you should keep your receipt, as you say. Commonly, students mix up the words recipe and receipt. Recipe is for food, the list of process for food, and a receipt is the thing we get to the proof of purchase. And would you like a receipt? Would you like a receipt? I commonly say no. Because I don't want it. I don't want paper. But you should keep your receipt. I think the Americans call it a bill, don't they? But we call it a receipt.
Mm.
You
Mm.
should keep your receipts as proof of purchase in case you want to take it back. So
Yes.
commonly, obviously with food you can't, and underwear not really. But maybe you buy some clothes, some a jumper or shoes, or you're buying them for someone else. You should keep the receipt so you can take it back. And
Yes.
you should ask, shouldn't you? Can I return it if it's not right? Can I bring it back?
Hmm. Oh, definitely. Under British law, I think there are certain terms where you're allowed to take things back within 28 days. I think it is, isn't it? If they're
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
damaged, or even if you change your mind, as long as you haven't used the product, you can take it back if you have a proof of purchase, which is obviously a receipt. The other reason for having a receipt, though, is in case you walk out of the store and the
Yeah.
security guard goes, "Have you paid for that?" And you can go, "Aha, I've got my receipt."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to keep my receipt in future just in case that happens. Because I always beep going through those things. I don't know what it is. I don't know if
Hmm.
it's my magnetic personality, but I walk through there, and I was like, I'm always like, oh no, 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 I feel guilty. by associate, but obviously I'm not stealing anything. But yeah, I do take my receipt in supermarkets so they can see that I've paid what I've had.
Yeah. And what about when you return the item? So you don't want the item, you bring it back the receipt. What sort of things do you say?
You could say "Oh, it wasn't quite right, or it wasn't quite what I was after. Again, and you can even reject. That's a polite way of rejecting, isn't it? And it's if you can say it's not working, if it's not functioning the way it should, it's not working quite right. It's not exactly what I was looking for. These sort of things, and we often apologize, don't we? I'm sorry, it's not exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Why? Why apologize? It's no problem for them, is it? 9 times out of 10. But we can even say that expression, it's not quite what I'm after. If a shop assistant is helping you with like clothes and they go, have you seen, what about this jumper? It's not quite what I'm after. It's a polite way to reject something, isn't it?
Yes. You could say, it's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea.
No, this is my cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's not really what I'm after. It's not my style. It's not my color, or maybe it's too expensive. It's not in my price range, not in my price bracket. That kind of thing. Yeah,
I'm on a budget. We usually make it about us rather than say the thing is too expensive. We make it like it's our failing. Like, it's not in my budget at the moment. It's a bit out of
We're again, being British, we're very polite, aren't we? We don't just go, I don't like it. It's horrible.
Polite or indirect?
Indirect. Okay, indirect is probably a fairer.
Because I think all cultures have direct or indirect can both be polite within its own setting. But we're very indirect, which is politeness for us. So we would never go, that's rubbish. I'm not having that. That's too expensive. We'd go, oh, I've had to cut back a bit on the bills just recently, so I might have to leave it. But yeah. And finally, when you finish that process, as you say, we thank them. We say cheers, which is an informal way of saying thanks. And you leave the shop and you hear behind you somebody saying, next, please, next, which is the next customer. And then you just realize you're just another part of the, just another cog in the machine, aren't you? And the sales machine.
Oh, yes. They also say, do you want a bag with that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Do you want a bag? Because you have to pay for a bag these days.
You do, don't you? Pay for plastic bags, which I get because it's an environmental thing and all that. But commonly now, you should take your own bag. If I forget, though, I usually end up stuffing it in as many pockets as I possibly can, so I don't have to buy a bag because they just live in cupboards, don't they?
Yeah.
And then but you see some people almost juggling stuff.
Yes.
But and
then then you just want to get out the shop, really, and that's the experience over.
And if you're in a shopping centre, you've then got another shop to go to, or a bowling alley. But on that note, I was going to say we've done the whole process from start to finish, and you very much learnt how we feel about shopping. Let us know what parts of shopping you love and what parts you hate. And if you do want to support this podcast, you could always buy a cup of tea for me or for Rob. But for me, I just want to say you can find the link down there. Nice cup of tea. But for me, I just want to say thank you very much to Rob. Thank you very much to our listeners. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I'll see you in the next podcast, Rob.
Yeah. Cheers, Roy. Cheers, everyone. See you next time.
Care.
Bye.
Bye.